Dreams, it has a much deeper meaning. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. If you saw Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It's your subconscious mind creating reality in the astral plane. If you saw Jesus, it's your belief materializing, coming to yourself. This is why your dreams carry hidden messages. There is a screen in your mind where you can imagine things. This is a whole other realm called the astral plane. You were astral before you had a physical body. It's the realm of infinite possibilities where the mind creates anything it wishes. The third eye is the mind, and the mind can see into the astral plane, and this is why we call it an eye. You have been led to believe that you are only physical, which keeps your mind stuck in three-dimensional awareness. You can advance physically and you can advance mentally, accessing higher planes of consciousness. If you can't control your dreams, this is your subconscious creating the dream. You need to use your conscious mind so that you have control in the astral plane and do whatever you wish. You are a multi-dimensional creature. You will never die. Death is an illusion. This is called the double split experiment, and it proves that we live in a simulation. When you're not observing something, it doesn't exist. It's a wave of possibility. It's like a video game. Nothing has even rendered in yet. When you observe it, that's when it becomes solid matter. Nothing is real.
Since the photons travel one by one, some through this slit, some through that slit, you would expect them to leave a pattern of two stripes on the wall. And you would be wrong. They mysteriously create a band of stripes. This is what you would expect to see if a constant beam of light shined through the two slits. It would spread across the wall like a wave. So how can single bullet-like particles of light create a wave pattern? This could only happen if the particles go through both slits at the same time. In other words, the particle is in two places at once. But strangest of all is what happens when you put detectors next to the slits. When the photons are being watched, the wave pattern disappears. Take away the detectors and the wave pattern comes back. This suggests that we can change the way reality behaves just by looking at it.
The brain and the central nervous system is what you're experiencing. The body produces the simulation. You are the consciousness within the body. You are the universe experiencing itself. Jesus never existed. Yahweh is the inhale and exhale of the breath. When you breathe in, that's Yah. When you breathe out, that's way. That's why the Bible says God breathes life into the nostrils of man. God is the consciousness. The word Yahweh in Hebrew is the human body. Spirit in Latin is breath. The Holy Spirit is the holy breath, which activates the Kundalini, which is the resurrection. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Jesus in French is I am. Tithing is not giving the 10% of your income to the church. It means give the 10% of your mind, your ego, into the subconscious mind, the 90%. You do this through profound meditation. The church has literalized this so that they can make a business out of the Bible. This is how you meet the Lord in the air, and this is why Moses has to go on a mountain, because it represents raising your consciousness to a higher level to reach the higher self, which is the Lord. This book is currently on sale. Use code WISDOM for 40% off. This will be ending today. Thank you for 1 million followers. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, alcohol in Arabic. Vodka is called spirit. Jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spirit in witchcraft. This is where we get the word jinx from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck, because they hide the spiritual planes from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Consuming alcohol destroys the connection between your etheric body and allows spiritual entities to attack your chakra system. Alcohol destroys brain cells, which weakens the connection between your mind and brain. All religions condemn alcohol because it originates from witchcraft. When you are really drunk and you don't know what you're doing, this is when you are fully possessed. This stuff is real, people. If you have the ability to astral project, you can literally see these entities for yourself. These open your mind. This attacks you spiritually. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal? Working means you were a king. You are no longer a king if you are working. Talking, you're either a tall king with your words or a small king with your words. Words are swords because words are frequency, and frequency is the only thing that penetrates your body without your consent. That's why the Bible tells you life and death are in the power of the tongue. Divine is dive in, because you dive inward to connect with the divine. That's why Michelangelo put God in the brain, because the kingdom of God is within you. I is the all-seeing eye of consciousness, which is is inside of you, which is your intelligence or your ideas. I is the Roman numeral for one, which is one line, because we are all the one consciousness. This is why Jesus says, be still, meditate, and know that I am God. Not Jesus is God, that I am within you is God. You are the temple, the all-seeing eye. Thank you for 1 million followers. Use the code WISDOM for 40% off. This is the biggest sale yet. It ends today. If you read the book of wisdom, you will gain wisdom, which is a wise dome, a wise brain. I'll teach you this, but never teach you this. You are a biological battery. This is why you get charged in a court and then sit in a cell, a battery cell, because you're electromagnetic. Your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. Disease shows up in this field before it manifests physically. This is why your thoughts and emotions contribute towards your illness. Every illness is vibrating on a frequency, and you can use these frequencies to heal them. By listening to these frequencies, you're healing your electromagnetic field, which will then heal your physical body. You attract what you are, not what you want. If you are low vibration, this means you are on the same vibration as illness and disease. If you raise your frequency, you can no longer become ill. This is why you need to eat high frequency food, which is grown under the electrical sun. Fruit provides you with electrical energy because your body is an electrical system. Thank you for 1 million followers. I appreciate the support, but followers are just numbers on a screen. I'll continue to live in the real world and give you the knowledge that I've gained. This is the biggest sale yet, only lasting 24 hours. Use the code WISDOM for 40% off. Thank you all for the amazing support. Sunburn doesn't exist. It's caused by high amounts of seed oils in your skin. When there is seed oils within your skin tissue, the sun's rays boil it, and this causes your skin to become burnt. The sun is not bad for you. It's only bad for you if your body is unhealthy. Seed oils cause inflammation, and every time you inflame an organ, it weakens it. And every time you weaken it, over time, this will cause failure or disease. The only oils you should be using are these, and do not cook coconut or olive oil. Everything you see is a light wave. Light waves carry information. This information is taken to the brain and then the rest of the body. The information that you take in is having a positive or negative effect on your whole body. The sun does not blind you. Sun gazing is a very powerful tool to heal your body. This is why they built pyramids, so that they could walk up in the morning and watch the sunrise, because the sun is the life giver of all life on the physical plane. All of the stars and the celestial planets communicate to us telepathically. Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis is the dog, which represents the tongue, the barking, because the power of life and death is in the tongue. The falcon of Horus is the inner bird, which is inside of the brainstem. Thoth, the god of wisdom. Thoth is thought, because he is the god of wisdom, the thought, the human mind. Jed pillar is the spinal column, which is a part of the brain. The Ankh is the womb, the uterus in the womb, because this is the portal into the physical world. This is symbolizing how the visual field works with the brain, because you do not see into the external world. What you are seeing is an image produced by the visual cortex in the back of the brain. The back of the casket is the cerebellum, which is all to do with motor learning and cognitive functions of the brain. The scarab is the skull. Hindus used to build temples in the human form because they understood this is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. The Most High does not dwell in houses made by human hands. It's your human body. You are God made flesh. They don't want you finding out how sacred your body is and how powerful your mind is. You are the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid, looking into the three-dimensional world. You are Solomon's temple, the temple of the soul and the mon, the soul and the mind in the temple. If you want to learn more, read this book. Death is an illusion. Your body is an electrical machine for your soul. The soul is powering the body. It died on the cross and gave its life to it. Death has the word ether within it, because when you die, you go through the ether into the astral plane. You need to prepare for life after death, because when you leave this body, your mind will still have these addictions to the physical plane, and you will keep reincarnating into the material world. You have to find your true self before you die, or else you'll die with a false identification. You are body, mind, and soul. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. The mind mind acts as a projector which projects your soul into different bodies in the material realm. You are the all-seeing eye. You are the observer behind the emotions, behind the mind. You are the one experiencing this. Deep down, this is your soul. Here's the Egyptian symbolizing the soul leaving the body when dying. The life and death cycle is found within the days, the day and night, conscious, subconscious, because the universe is fractal. It's all macrocosm. The physical world is the phi cycle, which is the cycle of the torus field. Death is an illusion. You'll never die. You are eternal. And ascending up to God is ascending up to yourself, because your mind, your consciousness is God. Happy birthday is witchcraft. Touch wood is an ancient magic ritual to summon the tree spirits. Turning the lights off and chanting happy birthday while blowing out candles and making a wish is a form of magic rituals. Black mirrors were used to contact spirits, and we use them every single day. They were called scrying mirrors. Scry became screen. When you are praying, you are trying to cast a spell to change reality with your words. The word abracadabra translates to I will create with my words. This is why we call it spelling. It's a spell. Birthday rituals are making you age quicker. When we say how old are you, we are tricking our subconscious mind that we are old. When you jinx something, this is a jinn, which is an invisible creature within the astral plane. Why is it that they covered the hole on top of the Sphinx head? This is why the Pope wears the cap, because when you are born, you have a hole in your cranium. As we get older, this hole shuts. We need to open the window to the Most High. We do this by mental and spiritual awareness. Your body is the temple. God does not dwell in temples made by human hands, which is the body. That's why the side of the head's called the temple. And the kingdom of God is within you. You receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. Spirit means breath, which is the Kundalini energy, to open the pineal gland and open the window to the Most High. Just like Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. Snake is the Kundalini, the wilderness is meditation. Stop taking the Bible literally. It's written in metaphorical code for you to upgrade your consciousness. If God was in the sky, he would have changed this messed up world by now. God is the mind, the creative life spark within you. Sugar in your teeth is called a cavity. Sugar in a baby's brain is called ADHD. Sugar in an adult's brain is called dementia. Sugar in your skin is called aging. Sugar in your body is called cancer. Sugar in your blood is called diabetes. Sugar in your eyes is called glaucoma. Sugar and alcohol kill good gut bacteria. Seed oils in your skin is called sunburn. Acne on your skin is undigested food. Bad breath is actually a smelly, rotting gut. Body odor is the smell of your gut coming out your skin. Never sit like this, sit like this. Your cells are new every 90 days. If you eat electrical live food, this will regenerate your cells, which can stop aging. After 3 days of fasting, your body produces stem cells to regenerate the body. If you want to heal your body, get rid of the sugar, the dairy, and the meat, and stick with the fruits and veg. Adam and Eve is an encoded story. Adam is masculine, which is action. Eve is feminine, which is emotion. Sin is an old word for moon, which is emotion. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the central nervous system. The serpent tempting Eve is the sexual emotion, because emotions are feminine. The forbidden fruit is the sexual fluids. When you release your sexual fluids, you degenerate your body, and the ancients believed this is when you started to die when you release. The serpent tempts you to release the forbidden fruit, which is your sexual fluids, because the emotion is Eve and the action is Adam. Ancients believed you have immortal genes and you activate them by raising the sacred fluids to your brain. Once you eat the forbidden fruit and you leave the Garden of Eden, which is even between life and death, you are now mortal and you know the good and the evil, and you will live and you will die. Sexual emotion is the most powerful emotion the human could possibly feel. Sin also means sign, which means time, which is emotions that exist in time. The only emotions that exist in time is sexual emotions and negative emotions. You are a slave. When you are born, you get a birth certificate. When a ship pulls up to its bay on water, it's called the birth canal. When it pulls up, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you are born on water through the birth canal, you get a certificate of manifest. This is because you are now a product and you showed up on water, and this represents your cooperation. This is why when you die, you're called a corpse. So when you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, this is not you. This represents the cooperation that you have agreed to identify with. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a cooperation. When we are born into a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, we are owned by the Vatican because our names, our corporations, are assigned to a copyrighted timeline. You're an electromagnetic battery. This is why you get charged in a court, and when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This is why cities look like motherboards, because we produce electricity. A city is electricity. Do you understand is a trick question. When a law enforcement asks you this actually means do you stand under the law, not if you understand something. The English language is used against you so that you submit yourself to the law. If you like Star Wars, you literally have no life. Give me a... Stop using forks. Did you know these forks are ruining your digestion? When you eat, your body needs to touch the food to activate the digestive system, or else it will be reduced. Humans possess trichromatic vision, meaning our brains are wired to seek color, because our brains are wired to seek fruit, which is food. Food does not run away from you on legs. Green fruits, this is for detoxification. Orange fruits, this is for cleansing and removing waste from the body. Red fruits, this is for the blood. This is why all the fast food restaurants use red, orange and yellow, because our eyes catch red, orange and yellow the fastest, because they want to attract you to eating their poison. We're watching this video because the color of the fruit in the beginning of the video caught your attention. Do not fall for their trap. Give me a follow. Satan is you. It's a metaphor for your lower mind. It's an aspect of your mind that wants the material things, the lust, the desire, the food, the money, the fame and the power. That is Satan. God is the one that wants the love, the wisdom and the knowledge. The devil never tempts you. It's your mind tempting you to do the negative things. It's a personification. Demons are your emotions that possess your body, your mind. Everything is a reflection of your mind. Everything is in the mind before it manifests physically. They never want you to figure this out because you give away your creative power to them when you believe in an external God or an external devil. Everything is within you, people. Religion's the biggest scam on this earth. This is how you activate 100% of your brain. They show you this in the symbolism of the Olympic torch, the Statue of Liberty of raising the fire. Sexual energy must be raised from the base of the spine to the brain, activating the human light body. The truth is always hidden within plain sight. This is the Queen's ceremony showing the Kundalini process of activating the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is the brain. This is all symbolism for humans reaching their highest potential and unlocking their psychic abilities. The tree is the brain, the left hemisphere is Adam, the masculine, the right hemisphere is Eve, the feminine. The serpent is your sexual energy, tempting you to release your sacred fluids, which is the forbidden fruit. The sexual fluids is what can be transmuted to activate your God powers. The ancients believed that once you released, this is the moment that you would start to deteriorate and die. Is this why they give us free websites and overly sexualize us? They worship Saturn. Satan is Saturn. Satan fell from heaven to earth, which is you, your mind, incarnating into physical. Satan means God in flesh. Hell comes from hail, which means physical. Your heel is hell, because your heel touches the physical earth. Your head is heaven, because this is where consciousness is, in the temple. Space is fake. The planets are spheres of consciousness and energy, which manifest the physical universe. Saturn is where time begins, and this is why they worship this world, the world of time. This is why in the Bible, Satan, who is the god of this world, because the god of this world is time. They worship Satan, which is Saturn, which is God in flesh, you bound by the body. Your soul died on the cross as it gave its life to the physical form. You are now Jack in the Box, which is the physical plane, the cube, or in Sega Saturn, the GameCube. Your body can only move 6 ways, and it's stuck within the limitation of time. Your mind can go forward and backwards in time because it exists outside of this plane. The mind is heaven, which is the place where there is no space, no time, no matter. The mind is the true reality. The physical world is the false plane. You are the all-seeing eye, peeping into the third dimension, or the Vesica Pisces. Because you came through the Vesica Pisces, the womb, the portal. This is why you see Jesus in the Vesica Pisces, because this represents you appearing in the third dimension. You were in the spirit realm, but you lost your vibration and fell into physical form. We are all fallen gods into physical matter, but your mind has access to the higher dimensions of consciousness. Spirit is an electrical field around your body. A spirit is a spiral. Thoughts and emotions are frequency, and this determines how strong your field is. Why do you think you have this spiral on your head? It comes from this field. The Holy Spirit can enter you when you gain elevated states of emotion and positive thoughts and mental control over this electromagnetic field. Higher vibration your emotions are, the stronger your field is. The stronger your field is, the more impact you have on manifesting your own reality. When your field vibrates highly, you have more energy energy than matter, which has influence on matter because matter is created from vibrational frequencies. Armor of God in the Bible is a strong electromagnetic field which protects you from the devil's scheme, which is negative energy. Devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by doing the evil, which is a low frequency. Raising your frequency allows you to pass the veils into the higher planes of consciousness. Meat and all these chemicals are in the food are keeping you stuck in low vibrations, so it keeps you stuck in third dimensional awareness, keeping your mind stuck to the physical plane. Religion has externalized all the things about yourself so that you never find the true power of you. They are trapping your soul in the earth. Your body is a technological computer running the simulation to your mind, your consciousness. You do not experience the external world. You only experience the electrical impulses on your nervous system. You do not look into reality. What you see is an image produced by the visual cortex in your brain. You are only experiencing the brain and the central nervous system, not the world. The body is the earth. This is why the word heart is earth, because when the heart stops, you leave this veil of consciousness. The head is called the temple because this is where God resides. This is where the mind is, the invisible consciousness which has access to the other higher dimensions of consciousness. They have tricked you into materialism. They've tricked you into believing that you are only the physical body, which traps your mind in physicality. The mind can go forward and backwards in time, which means it exists outside of the third dimension, outside of time, space, and matter. But your body is a part of the third dimensional construct, which means it can only stay in the present moment. It cannot go in the past or future, just like your mind can. The devil is the deveil. They want your mind stuck to the physicality, stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they get you addicted to all of the physical pleasures, food, lust, money, and all material things, so that your mind keeps entertained by physical things. When you die, your mind will still have the same addictions from when it was in the physical plane. This means it will come back and reincarnate again into physicality. This is why you need to strip off all addictions and detach from the external world, because this body is just a veil on top of your. You can sell everything on my website. Click the link in my bio and then click Make Money Affiliate Program. Fill in your details and click Join. Once you are logged in, you'll get a default affiliate link, or you can get a product link. Click on Get Product Link, go to my website, copy and paste a product, and then place it into the generate bar. Click Generate, and now this is your personal affiliate link for that product. Place that into your bio. Your commissions are under the commission section, and you will see them all here. You can download all of my content on Marketing Tools, Dropbox. Click the link, and then you will have all of my videos where you can edit, make changes, and post them yourself. Payouts occur every month on the 26th via PayPal. You can earn up to 50% commission on every sale. With minimal effort, all you have to do is sign up, download my content, and post it, and watch the money come in. Bless means be less you. Appreciate is appreciate. Awake means awake, which is an event where the family gather together before a funeral. Mourning is an expression of sorrow for someone's death. Job is Hebrew for prosecution. You are taught to specifically say the vowels in this order, where the last three words say I-O-U, because they are programming you to remain a slave. Every word you say is shaping your mind, and your mind is a mirror of your external world. This is why abracadabra means I create when I speak. The words I am can be used to direct vibrational frequencies into your morphogenetic field and have the ability to change your genes. When you use the word the, you're referring to God to bring it into existence, because the comes from theo, which is Greek for God. The weekend is when you're weakened from the weekdays, when you're in a daze, when you are in physical shock or unable to think or react properly. Your parents are a pair who rent. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. The comment that gets 0 likes will win a book of wisdom and a necklace. Symbols are magic. This is important, so listen. When you see the Nike symbol, this activates thoughts and emotions that you associate with the symbol in your mind. The thoughts you think manifest into imagination, which is the astral plane, the spirit plane. All of the minds in the world have associated this Nike symbol with a certain emotion and thought, which manifests as some sort of spirit in the astral plane. Yes, your mental energy creates demons and spirits within the astral plane. The more people that contribute towards this thought, towards this, the bigger and the more powerful the spirit becomes. When you wear this symbol, you are wearing the spirit of Nag. Depending on how people view that symbol, depends whether it has a negative or a positive charge on that spirit. If it has a negative spirit, you are then wearing a negative entity, a negative spirit. Wearing sigils can either benefit us or negatively impact us, depending on what sigils we wear and keep in our sight. Symbols are sigils and they carry astral energy. We are in constant rotation with the astral plane. Everything you think, say and do is done in the astral, which affects your astral energy body. I wanted to make sure this was real before I actually posted it on my Instagram, and this is what I got. So I turned the image upside down, flipped it, and put it together, and you can clearly see the Baphomet figure, or the goat head and the horns, in the middle when you mirror these two portraits together. And it's funny that they used red, because red symbolizes low states of consciousness. It's the lowest vibrational color. It symbolizes emotion over the mind, the lower self. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a coincidence? Let's get into this thing right here. It's called the Kabbalistic tree, and it can be found on your body and even your hands. This is the process in how the universe works. It goes from nothingness and manifests through the 10 spheres into physical reality, which is Malkuth, Earth. Low vibrating light falls into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. There are 10 spheres, 1 dath, and 22 pathways. All of this adds up to 33. This is why Jesus dies at 33, because it represents being spirit and manifesting into human form, and our consciousness giving its life to the physical body, which is the cross. Because our consciousness falls through the 33 segments of this tree and manifests into Malkuth, which is Earth, physical reality. Jesus takes 5 wounds on the cross because this represents the 5 ways your consciousness interacts with this material universe. The 10 spheres are the 10 planets, but there are 7 major ones because time begins with Saturn, and from Saturn there are then 7 spheres down to Malkuth. Saturn rules this world because this world is governed by time. So this is why there are 7 planets for the 7 days of the week, 7 metals, 7 colors, everything is 7. The planets are entirely luminous, you can never land on them, they are not physical rocks, they are manifestations of universal energy at different points of creation. You descended from spirit to matter, now you need to raise your consciousness, which is the spine, the stairway to heaven, and go from earth to spirit and turn matter into light. This is why I wrote this book, so you can understand everything in the universe. The eye that you see on the pyramid is the third eye. The third eye is the human mind. Your mind can go in the past and the future, therefore it exists outside of this physical world, outside of time. The pineal gland is not the third eye, it's the radio receiver for your invisible intelligence, the mind. The more you dwell in your mind instead of the external world, the more you unlock. When you dream and leave this realm of thought, you are in a whole other realm. You can evolve physically and you can also evolve mentally, accessing other worlds and realms. There are 9 numbers because there are 9 dimensions. The word dimension has men in it, which means mind or mentality. This is where the word man comes from. It's Latin for mind, because man is not the physical body, it's the invisible mind. Cats can see into all 9 dimensions. This is why the Egyptians always symbolized them. Vatican symbols are key. The Vatican is a key because they give you religion to make you look outside of yourself, because they hide the key, and the key is within you to access the other worlds. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth was telling you this. The key to the worlds within thee are found only within. Entertainment, entertain the mind. They want you looking outside of yourself constantly. This is why they have all of these platforms. Luke 17:12, the kingdom of God is within you. The comment that gets 0 likes will win a free book of wisdom. The disco floor is symbolism for a Masonic lodge. You're probably thinking, well, what does this symbolize? On the bottom, we have checkered squares. Above, we have circles. Squares represent the lower planes, which is the physical world, limitation, duality, and time. Circles have no beginning, no end. They represent the eternal mind and soul. Mind over matter, circles over squares. This is why the compass is on top of the square. This is why Da Vinci put the circle outside of the square. This symbolism is all about you waking up to your true divinity, turning matter into spirit, going from earth to heaven, or a cube to a sphere. It's all an internal process where you have to spiritually alchemize yourself into a positive and high frequency being. In the Bible, it talks about the 144,000 that go to heaven on Mount Zion. Mount Zion is your spine, and 144,000 is a frequency to go from the lowest state of consciousness, the lowest chakra, up to the crown chakra, which is on top of Mount Zion. Here is how to stop Google listening to your conversations. Firstly, go to your Google account and click Manage Account. Then go on Data and Privacy. Once you are here, scroll down and go to Web and Activity. Then make sure that you unclick Include Voice and Audio Activity. Be sure to unclick this box which says Include Chrome History and Activities from Sites. They definitely don't need this information. And one final thing, make sure that you delete all of your history with Google by clicking this. Remember, if something is free, you are the product. They have two eyes because they're watching your data. Share, like and comment this video.
Yeah, I did magic on my brother yesterday.
Don't talk, sweetheart. It's okay. You're a silly man. I can talk to kids.
See, Paul,
I know.
because you know, we don't, that's a lot of people right there.
She's sweet to kids, I swear.
Why you don't never just
Jesus never walked on water. The metaphor for astral projection. The water Jesus walked on is the ether, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral planes. Peter becomes scared when Jesus is trying to teach him how to walk on water and falls back in the water. When you astral project and you start to fear, you will fall back into your physical form. This is why Jesus was known as the fisher of man, because he was fishing minds out of this physical plane into higher realms of consciousness. The word man or men comes from the Latin word mens, which means mind. Jesus was the fisher of minds. Did you know the Freemasons used a double-headed eagle to symbolize the 33rd degree Mason? This is because the eagle goes through death and a rebirth process. The eagle goes up to the mountains at the age of 40 and breaks its beak and pulls out all of its feathers because they no longer work, and isolates until it grows back so it can live the rest of its life. Masons are born again when they hit the 33rd degree because hidden secrets are revealed to them. This is why Jesus dies at 33, or in John 3:3 it says you are born again. Jesus was a Freemason. He was in the order of the Melchizedek, which is basically the Freemason. The eagle was the old symbol for Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the genital areas. You are meant to raise the sexual energy up the 33 vertebrae of your spine to activate the pineal gland and 100% of your brain, and this is when you are born again. This is why the eagle has an illuminated crown and the number 33 on it. Your soul and mind is trapped in time, and this is the Amsterdam airport symbolizing this. This is why you see black cubes in all major cities around the world. Satan is the god of this world. Satan is Saturn, and Saturn is time, which rules this world. Everything in this world is a cube. Everything has 6 sides. Black symbolizes physical matter. The cube symbolizes the North Pole of Saturn. If your mind can go in the future and the past, this means your mind exists outside of time. Your soul and mind exist outside of this world, and this is why every religion teaches there is another world, which is heaven. Satanic is Saturnic, which means they worship things that exist in time, physical pleasure. Escape. This is the Saturn ring. You have to escape time, space, and matter by going through your mind and learning how to astral project. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch, and this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go. If you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter. Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me in the comments. Number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. they used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. Rebel, as into rebel the cities and towns with the healing frequencies. Do not listen to the radio, Spotify or Apple Music. Could this be the real reason why oxygen's levels fell dramatically? They used to grow as high as the eye could see. This is clearly a giant tree stump. Trees have a coherent connection with us by giving us oxygen while we feed them with our exhales. Oxygen carries magnetic energy. We discover this by pouring liquid oxygen into a magnet. As you can see, the liquid in oxygen is magnetically attracted to the magnets, and we are electromagnetic beings. The humongous trees that we destroyed from the past provided us with high amounts of oxygen, which nourished us with electromagnetic energy. The extraordinary amount of energy that was being emitted from these trees allowed our bodies to function on a higher degree. Maybe this is why the ancients were so advanced. Also, carrots are man-made, not healthy. Spinach is acidic, this is man-made. Don't use big limes, use the small key limes. Kiwi, man-made, acidic, not natural. Strawberries, alkaline, they are red, good for the blood. Never use seedless grapes or any seedless fruit, make sure they are always seeded. Pears are natural, they are alkaline. Dates are alkaline, they are good for building muscle. Dragon fruit, this is unnatural, acidic. Pineapple does not grow on its own in the wild, it's unnatural. Parsley is alkaline, good for detoxification. Potatoes contain starch which thickens your blood, acidic. Instead, use chocho. Garlic is toxic, they used to rub their bullets in garlic oil in World War II. Turmeric is fake, this is acidic, instead use ginger. Ginger is the real turmeric. Broccoli is unnatural, this is acidic. Cucumbers, alkaline. Lettuce, this is acidic. Apples, alkaline, make sure they are not shiny because they are waxed. Big bananas, these are full of starch, acidic. Watermelon, very powerful, alkaline, make sure it's seeded. Your eyes are designed to seek colour because we have trichromatic vision. Do not fall for the trap. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle, 4 gospels, the cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ, we are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. The toroidal field is a multi-dimensional energy pattern. It is a universal blueprint in which all energy and matter manifests. It can be visualized as a donut-shaped configuration where energy is in a continuous loop. The central axis in which the energy goes in and then back out is called the hyperboloid, and this corresponds with our spines. Our spines are also a hyperboloid for this electromagnetic torus field. The flow of energy within our torus field and our body follows the same principles that govern the larger universal patterns. Thoughts and emotions are also forms of energy which manifest through our electromagnetic torus field. A stone thrown into water will create ripples, which will create incandescent circles which travel outward. This is the two-dimensional representation of how we visualize sound waves. In three-dimensional space, sound waves propagate in all directions, which creates a spherical wave front. When these sound waves expand, they create the torus field shape. When we speak, we create vibrational waves which expand in all directions into torus fields, and this is why talking is called torus fields. The words we say have an effect on other people's fields and your fields itself, affecting reality in all directions. The Bible means Taurus. Bi means two. Ball is one of these. These are the balls. There are two balls which create this three-dimensional construct. The Bible is all about life incarnated into physical reality, the third dimension. The real university will be open soon. Electricity is the force that molds this physical universe. You see its pattern reflected in the macrocosm all the way down to the microcosm. Plants use electricity to communicate. Our bodies use electricity to move. Human body and every animal body is a piece of electrical technology. The human body is the most advanced machine in the world, and they tell you that it has no creator. Everything exists within the mind before it manifests physically. We are living in the mind of God. We are God in a microcosm form. Religions were made to externalize God so that you do not find yourself and do not find the divine within you. Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork and the north and south on the sides. This is because they understand the true cosmology of this realm, but you don't. North is the center of this realm. This is where all compasses point to, because the Earth's electromagnetic field and all this energy centers at this point. It's the strongest point. South is anywhere that goes opposite from the center. So if you walk this way, that is south, and that is south, and that is south. West is when you go left around the magnetic pole. This is anti-clockwise. If you were here and started walking west, you would end up in the exact same spot. East is the clockwise turn around the center axis. So if you were here and walked east, you would end up in the exact same position. With that being said, east is the right turn, left is the west turn. They always show the ladder to the east. Why? Because the ladder is your spine, and the east means the right, which is the right hemisphere of your brain. In short, the right hemisphere produces a holistic view of reality. So this sees humanity as one unified consciousness. The left hemisphere breaks this down into individuals. This sees the trees, this sees the whole woods. So when Jesus says, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish, this represents cast your awareness into the right hemisphere and you will see the unification of the universe. You will see the higher self. This is the higher self. This is the ego. You will realize everything is connected and everything is all one. The real university will be open soon. Your body is a prison. The real matrix is your consciousness being stuck in third-dimensional awareness, the physical body. Every religion teaches that this world is the false world and there is a heaven or another base reality. But heaven is not what you think. You're made out of cells, a prison cell, and your ribcage is a cage. This is why the Bible says, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. Your mind operates outside of this physical plane without time, space, and matter, and no limitations. Material addiction and emotions is what ties you to the physical plane. Sin means sine, which is time, the sine wave of time. Negative emotions such as hate, fear, and jealousy only exist in a world of time. Therefore, love, contentment, and joy can exist without time. Therefore, your emotions is what takes you away from God, which is your higher self, your higher mind, your pure consciousness, which exists outside of this physical body. This is why you call it my body. This is mine. It's a possession. It's not you. You are the I am. There is another plane beyond the physical plane called the astral plane, and this is where the realm of imagination or spirits are, and you can enter this through astral projection. Heaven is the higher astral realms where your mind can operate without limitation. Use the code WISE20 for 25% off for the next 24 hours. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra. This is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has two coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Females represent magnetism. This is why they are curvy and attractive. Males represent electricity, which is the action-taking force. This is because everything is created out of electromagnetism. This is the real atom. This field spirals while coming inwards and outwards. The out force is the male, which is the red, and the in force is the female. This creates red shift, the out force, the in force blue shift. This is why everything is red and blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. God, Allah, Elohim are all names for the Supreme Being. They all add up for 26. 26 is 8. 8 is the torus field. God is light. God is energy. Everything is God. We are all God. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0, the cosmic womb. 1 is the action-taking force. Male and female comes from the torus field. 0 and 1. The phi symbol is the torus field. Physical is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, which is a torus field. Day and night, we live in cycles. If you open your eyes, you will see magnetism in every aspect of creation. Everything physically is electric. Everything runs off electricity. Without electricity, your body couldn't move and the world wouldn't exist. Your brain is an electrical computer, and it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There is no external world. Your consciousness is experiencing a program being ran by the brain and central nervous system. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of the central nervous system's electrical impulses. The vision that you see is produced in the visual cortex in your brain. It's because the universe is a mental projection. The mind is personified as the Garden of Eden in the Bible, and in the Garden of Eden there are the two trees. The tree of life, which is the cardiovascular system, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the central nervous system. This gives your body the life. This gives you the knowledge of good and evil. The power symbol is the brain and spine, because the brain is what runs this simulation to your consciousness. It's a central processing computer. This is why the ancients personified God inside of the brain, touching Adam. Adam means the body. God is your consciousness. This is why your head is called a temple. Tem is a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. This is why Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. This is why the Bible teaches not to love this world, and this world is not the true world, because heaven is the true reality, which is the reality of your mind. That's the true realm. The word Lucifer also means the bright star. He fell from heaven. Now the star is your 5-pointed star, which represents you, your 5 senses. So when you let your 5 senses rule over your mind and your consciousness, this is when you fall from heaven. The Bible is written in metaphors, and everything is internal. Everything exists within your mind. There is no true external world. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. iPhone, you refer to yourself as I, which is the eye of consciousness, is being manifested digitally into your phone. That's why Siri rearranged is Iris, and this is your iris. Every text you send, every call that you speak, and every search that you do is being stored and being fed into an artificial consciousness called AI. Everyone in the world has manifested their invisible minds into a carbon footprint, which is now created an artificial consciousness which is running off the algorithms that we have created. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. If something is free, you are the product. They all have 2 O's because they're watching you, they're collecting your data. Your phone takes an infrared photo of you every 3 to 5 seconds. Your phone screens, TV screens, and computer screens all give off blue light, which creates permanent retina damage, which cannot be reversed. And this is why I use anti-blue light glasses whenever I use technology, to save my eyes and to save your brain, because whatever you see affects your whole body.
I don't know what's going on. We're back in Greece, by the way, alright?
What
but
the fuck is this?
like, what is going on? I never saw this since I'm here.
Orange, everything.
It's completely orange. The sun should be there somewhere.
But look there.
But look at, it looks like there's graphene or like black. This is nuts. This is really nuts. It's literally orange. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's orange. Everything is orange. There's no filter on, nothing. Look at the green light, how it comes out, how it pops out. The lights of the cars.
It's not the right.
Like, it's not normal.
It doesn't look like a reality show.
No, it looks like a video game. There's no filter on.
You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus's, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring humanity together. Meat is poison. Fruits and vegetables assimilate with your body, meaning they become one with your cells. Illnesses show up in your field before it manifests in your body. Therefore, every illness is a frequency. And this is what quantum healing is. They scan your electromagnetic field and generate a frequency to heal it. Illnesses exist on a low vibration, so when we consume flesh, we are negatively impacting our spirit, our frequency, to match illnesses. When we raise our frequency through positive emotion, thoughts, and eating electrical food which does not run off from you when you try to eat it, this raises your frequency, and then you no longer match the frequency of diseases. Meat might have some nutritious value to your physical body. However, it destroys your spirit. The negative energy the animal was feeling when it was being slaughtered is still within the meat. You have been programmed to consume adrenochrome, which is blood-consuming adrenaline, which is in the meat. It's a psychological warfare. They employ neutral terms to cover up the true meaning of the food, because the words become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat. They called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw, and this will make you thrive. Fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom PDF or paperback. Praying is spellcasting. When something goes wrong in your life and you start praying, you're using words to alchemically change your external world. This is a spell, but you are doing it wrong. When you talk, you're creating torus fields, an electromagnetic field, because magic is magnetism, influencing magnetic fields. And you do this every time you talk. However, when you pray from a place of negativity, from a place of suffering, you are sending negative energy out into the ether, and you will get more negative energy back. Instead, you want to pray from a high vibration and believe you already have something. Every word you say is molding and shaping your mind, and your mind is the root cause of your external world. And when people place their hands together to pray, they're actually balancing the two hemispheres of the brain, because they represent the hemispheres of the brain. If you want to protect your electromagnetic field around your body, This EMF technology necklace will help you. The sign is not the devil horns, it's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. See the man standing on the moon. This represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. Lucifer fell from heaven to earth. Lucifer means star. The five-pointed star is your five senses. When your five senses rule over your life, this is when you are becoming Lucifer, Satan, or the devil, which is the inverted pentagram. This is spirit on the top. The inverted one is spirit on the bottom, because your spirit is no longer controlling your body. It's being ruled by the lower mind, by the five senses and your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the five senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Stop worshipping God, become the God self, because we are all God in flesh. Freemasonic compass is a compass and a square. Compass for the circles, the square for the square. Circle is the eternal plane. This is the mind, the soul, the spirit, which is within us, where there is no time, no space, no matter. This is the no beginning, no end. The square has beginning and end. This is the physical plane. This is where material things manifest from the mind, the eternal plane. This is where time, space, and matter and limitations exist. The Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man is showing you the man in the square with the eternal circle outside of the square. The circle, which is the mind, the eternal self, the consciousness, manifests the physical plane. It is circles over squares, which is why the compass is on top of the square. The G is 7 because the 7 planets or spheres of energy manifest this physical material world. This is the generative principle of the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 diatonic tones, 7 colors. The celestial bodies are spheres, and they rule over the earth, which is astrology. They give their energy to the earth, influencing the earth. The earth is the square. This is spheres over the square. We need to think outside of the box to reach our eternal self, which is mind. The mind is eternal, it is infinite, it has no limitations. Everything can exist in the mind. There is no limitation.
Like before, one side was connected to ground, while the other was attached to the aerial wire. And after just a few seconds, hey, she's spinning! This is just remarkable. It never really spun that fast, but I just sat and enjoyed the miracle. I mean, I quite literally was siphoning energy straight from the atmosphere. This motor was operating off of several kilovolts, which you could actually hear if you stopped the motor and brought your finger near the aerial wire. That's the sound of coronal discharge.
There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone, and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain, and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear, and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see, or hear no evil. This is a very strong magnet. When we pour liquid nitrogen on it, nothing happens between the two magnetic poles. When we pour liquid oxygen on it, there is an attraction between the two magnetic poles. This proves there is electromagnetic energy within oxygen. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing through your mouth. This is a very strong magnet. When we pour liquid nitrogen on it, nothing happens between the two magnetic poles. When we pour liquid oxygen on it, there is an attraction between the two magnetic poles. This proves there is electromagnetic energy within oxygen. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing through your mouth. Stop wearing AirPods. The EMF frequency these items produce create inflammation in the brain and in the cells in our body. It also weakens your electromagnetic field, which weakens your physical body. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. Together, this creates the electromagnetic field. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. Emotion is energy in motion, the torus field. Your thoughts create your emotions create the electromagnetic field from the heart. Love and happiness and high frequency internal states create strong electromagnetic fields. This is what you call a vibe when you meet someone. It's basically a manifestation of their internal emotional self. The things we use on a daily basis are harming our electromagnetic field and inflamming cells in our body. Orgonite crystals have the ability to block out EMF frequencies. There's limited stock of these orgonite crystal necklaces.